Focusing on the sustainable development goals, particularly with ESG. If you have any questions, you can put your questions in the comment box and we will put in a timely manner to resolve your queries. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes before we start. I'm putting myself on mute right now. So I'll be discussing a couple of pattern applications and we'll see from here how we can negate the current menace of the population, pollution, all the P's in whatever way we can, stating the fact that we are at SOS. So the first pattern application is, just give me a moment and fetching something. Okay, so this particular application talks about Tesla stock. Why it is talking about Tesla stock per se? Let's get into this. Okay, so this particular application is US patent number 11443380. Um, I'll just write it down for folks who want to look into it. Okay, so hi Tyler, how are you? And okay, look into this pattern application. This is uh, it is a publication which talks about system and method of providing and recording personalized context specific advice in the form of artificial intelligence view of a hierarchical portfolio. It's basically historical data set. That's how I'll take it. So we talked about it like as a framework orchestrator, we can use different words to explain anything and everything. Even we can explain a dog as a cat in the patenting world and write the way we wish to write because there is no upper cap or the cap table is like limitless when you are orchestrating or writing the framework in a pattern application. So you have to look into how particular word has been defined in a patent application, and there are differences in the patent, and you have to go through the stuff just to understand the basics. Hi. So finally, we have Romaric here, and yes, so we are talking about the patent application. Have given the details, and particularly I would like you to walk through this stuff in terms of what they're doing and how they're doing and what they have disclosed, because there's a lot of stuff which is never disclosed in a pattern. It is always a trade secret, and that's how the proprietary stuff is developed. Most of the companies, small companies, MSME, they are just filing the application as defensive publication. And one good example is GE. For the longest time, they have been filing these applications and without going through the examination process. It's a defensive publication, which I feel is a good way just to make that data set in terms of whether or not whatever you're doing, you still are the inventor. So there's no government authority which can say that, hey, you are an inventor because we tell you you are an inventor. You are an inventor because you're inventing. And keeping trade secret is more important rather than, doing anything and everything, particularly utilizing this portal. So, okay, I also have one of my own patent applications. I'll just give the number. So I'll be putting the use case studies. Already those use case studies are being developed as we are talking right now. It's already developed. I think more than 400 plus use case studies are already submitted for the work we have been doing. Okay, Tyler. Okay, we are building an AI SaaS platform and we are thinking about our services. We will generate AI automated risk assessment report of different factories. Can we do this? Okay, see, first of all, when you talk about AI, you need to first understand where that input data is coming from. And I would rather say you can build anything and everything as far the platform is concerned. I would rather say it as an engine. Platform is a very generic word. You should utilize and replace platform with the word engine. It suffices the better purpose and the kind of development you are trying to do. Now, as far as AI is concerned, I'll rather say don't go with the LLM models. Have your own small model. What does that mean? Um, you have to select the folks in the world based on certain parameters, which is proprietary to you, and then develop that small model and then train the SaaS platform. Because right now, this synthetic data is never going to solve your problem as far as generation of AI automated stuff, because you have to make AI smart. And for the AI to be smart, you need to have the right people who are training your engine. And then you can, perhaps just bundle it up and give it as a service. So, 10-cent understanding of what you have discussed, I would say you can automate it. Uh, okay, process is done manually in industry. See, even if the process is manual, understand this. There's a lot of stuff in terms of what can be patented and what cannot be patented. But definitely, what I would say, if you have something in place, file a patent in terms of work with the right people on board, give them ESOPs, stocks in your company. Don't think that the person who would be drafting the framework is just given some fiat currency and done and dusted. You, if you really looking for that long term vision, you need to have the right people who would be drafting and I would say building that data set for you, because you need to have a lot of I would say flow charts and flow diagrams. Definitely, you can patent it. The point is what that patent is for. In terms of, see, there are two ways to understand, or rather, I would say there are a couple of ways to understand this. I would have advised differently before the COVID situation, which is before 2020. But today, if you ask me, just do defensive publication. You really don't need a granted application to suffice in the market, because anyone and everyone is utilizing this to build up something. Only the point of contention here is whether it is deployed or not, because it will make a lot of people unemployed. Anything which is manual, and which is automated, that journey of manual and automated, you need to understand that a lot of people are going to lose job. So you have to find that middle path, or you have to train those people who are doing this manually, and then upskill them, and then utilize it to get things done in a fast speedy manner. I hope that answers your question. And if you think, you can just send me a DM on LinkedIn. We can definitely reconnect and think about how to do and what to do. And the point is, which are the countries you are seeking um, assistance, and what you're trying to change. Because let me tell you, I'll give you one example. This is way back, I mean, somewhere, I'm not very sure, 2007 to 2011, somewhere at that point of time. So I did a heart valve kind of a device, uh, and that particular device itself was enough to eliminate Edward Life Sciences from the market. So the big players who are the sharks, they really don't want innovations which can wipe them off. However, the journey of AI is deployed on a small scale, do the sensitization, and then have that, I would say, uh, that on-chain effect, so that it integrates uh, into the life cycle, and try and introduce in countries where the requirement is more, rather than disrupting what is already there. Because understand, this disruption happens when the stakeholders are on your side, or the operators are on your side. Operators have to be on your side. If the operators and the stakeholders of that industry are not with you, um, you cannot survive in the long run. So you have to either do it on a slow pace, or be part of the bigger protocol. That's how it should be done. That being said, let's come back to the application. I was okay. Let me understand this pattern, which is a Tesla one. It has a use case study in the application itself. So I'm trying to understand what they're trying to do. So the narrative is, they have a portfolio which is a historical data set, and portfolio can be tree like, child like, parent, child, and whatnot. So it's like a concept of root, and then just bifurcate that. Hmm. Okay, so here, that calling the holding of Tesla as Tesla common stock, it can appear in many places. Call the portfolio holding instance, or instance. It's basically PHI. Or so in the Tesla stock itself, they have PHI 304, 306. Each PSI sits somewhere deep in the tree, so any upward walk towards the route or the route encounters related portfolio items, blah blah blah. They're talking about the technology sector, large cap valuation levels. So we have small caps, large cap, and then definitely the MSME or the grassroots level innovation. But what are they trying to do exactly? Let me just figure it out. See, intelligence system is like, misnomer. It's nothing but how the parameters are being trained, and how, I would rather say, intelligent people are working on it. If you are coming with the garbage data, it's not going to work. And that synthetic data is also not going to work, because that is not a real case scenario. So you need to have real case studies, focus on that aspect. Okay, Tyler said something. Tyler, I can't find the right people to develop. I talk to many developers, but I can't feel that they can do it. Okay, so what I would suggest you is, mm, have like-minded people in the, say for example, maybe you're not a coder. I'm guessing that, and since you're not a coder, you need to have people who can code, and then see if it can be churned into something. Or I would rather say, just work in that industry, or as a full-time employee, and then figure out the best people who can be on that same page, and then develop something, rather than just getting and jumping on the wagon of being an entrepreneur. Okay, this particular application we were talking about, where am I? Okay, it says intelligent system. How intelligent are they? Mm-mm-mm. Okay, basically it's a single call flow diagram. So client is requesting for the snapshot ID at the system end, basically, which is, I would rather say not the system end, but the admin end at the back end. Uh, they have their PHIs, they have their PHIDs, they have their RPIs. They're running the NN model, AI suggestion, blah blah blah, which is share, cost based, new target, node reasoning, build, AI view, JSON, code service fee in USD, convert it into crypto. The stable coins is the best thing to do in terms of, we talked about it. I think I have been very vocal about it that whatever happens in the world, stable coins will always be stable. That means somehow we are, at least right now in 2025, we are taking the fiat currency of $, as a stable coin, and then we say it's USDT. So whatever happens, stable coin is never going to decrease because that is dependent on a lot of parameters. I'm not getting into the economics and the commerce part of it, but this is how it works. um so okay, in this particular case, where am I, where's the application? Okay, I'll go through the images, but I just want to go through the claim part. The claim part is nothing but, a basic framework of what they are trying to. I mean, there's there are instances where you're not writing anything and everything. They are talking about blockchain also, private and public both. Okay. See, one thing you have to understand about blockchain, people have no understanding and cognizance of what blockchain is all about. Any knowledge which is easily available online, that is public. Anything you don't know about me is private. That's how simple blockchain is. What I mean to say is, I mean, how many folks will put their bank accounts details, the ledger, in the online world? If you're able to see that, or any person, say for example, I put one of my bank accounts details in the online world, that particular detail, which was private at one point of time, becomes public. That is what public ledger is. Private is anything which normal people don't know about that particular entity, that particular company, or that particular person. That is private. That's how you should understand the blockchain part, the private and the public blockchain. So we are. Okay, so the way they're doing this one is they are reusing the earlier work, and they have this portfolio node, which is basically nothing but different parameters: node ID, parent node ID, level type, which is based on sector, size bucket, etc., display name. Display name itself can be very different from what the actual name is all about. There are times when you go to Starbucks. I mean, I love to give different names. I mean, some days I feel like giving X name, some days I feel like giving Y name, some days I feel like giving Z name. So in the online world, you can have multiple names, whatever in the documentation, like just to keep the ethos right. We as Homo sapiens sapiens, the people who consider themselves as Homo sapiens sapiens, you have this, uh, social security numbers. Then in India, we have different kind of nomenclatures, just to make sure that we don't change it often. So they are trying to keep it static, but definitely you can change it by doing couple of steps, and then the things happen. Okay, then we have in this particular is, okay, holding instance, which is PHI ID, security ID, node ID, created TS version, holding instance data, AI suggestion. Okay, let's talk about this AI part, particularly this patent application. Suggestion ID, PHI ID. Action is basically buy, sell, transfer. Mm, if I have to add, I can add lease also. So you can buy, sell, transfer, lease. And one thing, let me tell you, I was talking to someone yesterday, and perhaps something came to my mind that why don't we have documentation around 999 years? I mean, that's a good thing to do. Even there are a lot of properties, at least in India, in Kolkata, particularly this Salt Lake City, which comes under BMC, Bidhan Nagar Municipality Corporation. The land is on lease, and that is 999 years lease. 999 years is a big time just to keep something constant. And the good thing is it cannot be transferred, although they have this funny ways of doing things right now, but most of the people like us, they are not transferring it. So that way, that land remains with you irrespective whosoever builds something over it. On paper and everything, you are the owner of that. So it's very important, because in the online world, you cannot just put whatever data set and prepare those verses and saying that this is this verse, this is that verse, geotag and all that nonsense, because again, that verse has to be regulated right now. Still, I feel when I'm part of these working groups, we are still just at the haystack situation, where we are still trying to figure out what should work out in the given scheme of things. uh, AI view ID or snapshot ID, blah blah blah. They're using TensorFlow. I honestly didn't like that. What I would rather say, just stick to basics when you are doing your own applications, because when you're using somebody else's model and these companies who have their models, if you see their coding, it's nothing proprietary about it. It's just how everything is, like, so you start, there's a determination, yes, no loop, there's no fourth way, at least to my mind. I don't think so. I can recall any fourth way. Maybe I've worked on a fourth way also, but not something which is coming to my head right now. So, blah blah blah, snapshot, blah blah blah. I will look into another application. I'll give you that also. So that is basically artificial intelligence investment platform. So this application number, okay, it's published in the year 2000. US 202202237700. Okay, Tyler, oh, my LinkedIn ID. Okay, I'll give you my LinkedIn stuff. You can look into. I'll answer the other questions. Just give me a moment. I'm working on multiple devices right now, so. Okay, I see. Okay, you're not a coder. That's okay. I mean, even if you're an engineer, you can still have those basic stuff in your head, and uh, probably I can help you out with that. We can work together, and maybe if things work out, I can create that basic group, because I'm connected to coders globally. It's just that how we the architecture of the company and everything has to be in place and seen in a way where it's a win-win situation for everyone, because anyhow, when you are starting something of your own, you need to keep the business ethics first. Yesterday somebody talked about data integrity, so that is very very important. So hi, Kumar is asking any jobs for Azure. Okay, why don't you do one thing? For if you're looking for gig economy and jobs, perhaps LinkedIn is one way to put your CV there. Secondly, I would say be active in the LinkedIn groups where the questions are asked and you can float in your CV. Third, be part of this gig economy in terms of Fiverr and all these Upworks and whatnot, and see for your own self how you can be part of something where you can get a job. Because personally, if you ask me, I would rather say be in the gig economy, be part of 4 5 organizations, because at the same point of time upskill yourself and build small product of your own in that frame. Maybe in 5 years, we or almost 2025, I would rather say it's over. It's just, if somebody's starting right now, just have your planning phase very good in terms of whatever it is. And there are a lot of bodies, like you have to look into, if you are trying to solve something. United Nations has a lot of bodies. You can just uh, see wherever it works for you in terms of they have funding, but they are not going to fund for an idea. You need to have your MVP ready and have right people on board so that it works out for you guys. So yeah. Okay, we will talk about this application, which is artificial intelligence investment platform. This particular application talks about, so I'll just discuss this, and I'm going to switch off this live right now. I need to get back onto other things. Hi, Subradeep. Okay, send me a link of your portfolio. I'll look into it. Send me a DM on LinkedIn. Somebody from my team will look into it. What are you looking at? Like, what should I do with your portfolio? Um, Let me just understand this application. Okay, this particular patent application includes an AI engine which is evaluating the market sentiment data. Okay, I'm not in a favor of market sentiment kind of work, because that actually doesn't work. It is just creating a hallucinated data set, whereby some of the stakeholders are trying to drive the market in some way or the other. Mm, just give me a minute. How can I improve? Okay. Can you just share your link of the portfolio? I'll look into it. What is this patent all about? Okay, so this is very simple. I mean, they're talking about heavy lifting, which is nothing but AI interference and portfolio mathematics, which happens at the server end. Uh, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't want to even go into it. It's a very simple patent application. I've given all the details of the patent. Probably I'll let somebody in my team analyze it and put it as an article on the website for people to review. So, what I would suggest is do the LinkedIn courses. Um a lot of them are free. Upskill yourself. That's the only way out. There is no other way out to be in the industry. And make small stuff which is proprietary to you and put it into smart contracts, which again is easy in terms of the understanding. And try and be part of these organizations, not from the viewpoint of, okay, what do you think, the quality, okay, what do you think after 3 years full stack developers the boom? No, uh it won't be a boom. uh why there won't be a boom after 3 years? Because right now, every 24 hours, um, there's a lot of data set which is being developed. The only way out is to because this word full stack develop itself would be I would say it won't even exist after 3 years. Let me tell you. Why I say so? I worked on so many patent application way back from 2007 to 2010, and what I have worked on, I know exactly what's existing today and what's incoming tomorrow. Uh, Data analyst is evergreen. Data analyst. See, there's a difference between data analyst. Now you're analyzing the data, in what aspect that data is analyzed. That is very important, because evergreening is also to be little smarter, being smart enough to churn the data, fortify the data, and get things done in a fast, speedy manner. So that's the only way out. So yeah, there's no boom actually. AI has taken over everything. Now, what is the need of the hour is RI, that is real intelligence. And if the data analyst is really intelligent enough, then you'll be able to just be part of that gig economy, which is already there. It's just that because of the offline stuff and the political scenario, you will see a lot of shifts in the overall landscape of anything and everything. So you need to click on that dot which with which you resonate, and then work upon it. That's the only way out. If we have any other question, happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll just log off from this session. I would rather. Okay, that's why I took cybersecurity, because of the fear of AI in every field. By God, because my field is in my field's not there. Okay, see, what you're talking about makes a lot of sense right now, because I would rather say, if forget about 3 years, forget what is happening in cybersecurity, the input data which has been provided is not the real input data. It's just a synthetic data. Everything is the primary, secondary research which has been conducted is all falsified. So the opportunity right now is for the folks to work in a way where, or in a manner where you are able to correct the input data in terms of the nomenclature. I'll talk about, I mean, the airline industry is the biggest example, which is global in nature right now. All the input data is wrong in terms of, say, for example, how many people are traveling, right? Um, Medical doctors, except few of the web check-ins and everything, the data which is being taken doesn't suffice with the lawmaking bodies. So the regulations, so take regulation as the center, and then start, writing off your data stuff and see how it works out, because that also can be done with the help of the tools which are available right now. And have your own set of tools in terms of what can be utilized. Don't try to build something new. Let me tell you, then you're wasting your time. You need to have the right tool sets, associate with them, and build your stuff over that. That's the best way out to figure out the current menace, which is AI has taken over everything. So we should not even talk about it. It's already done. I mean, I was as part of these conferences way back in 2017, 2016, 2018, and there was like, oh, AI doesn't exist. But I know I've written those applications way back in 2010, 2007, 2008. It has to be done. There's nothing called a 6 months period. That gestation period is lowered down not even to 90 days. It is, I mean, every week everything is changing so fast, so rapid, that you have to be on your toes just to understand what's happening, and then build your stuff around it and see how it goes. And right now, the current menace right now is the input data, in terms of the basic input data, the parameters, the names, the nomenclatures, everything is wrong. So there's an opportunity here to correct the input data, work on that, and that data can be utilized for other companies. There you can see, like, you can say that I have 50. Don't get into the big data sets. You just need to have small data sets and talk about RI rather than the AI. That is, RI is a real intelligence, AI is a synthetic intelligence. So let's not get in the synthetic part. Uh, Stop working around hallucinated data, because there's a lot of hallucination right now where you get into any of these web domains and say, okay, imagine this. Why you have to imagine? Just be with the reality, because that is also very important right now. So, what I would say, good in terms of being in cybersecurity is a good opportunity for folks, but at the same point of time, look into the input data sets. You will realize the input data itself is not right. So, try and build around that. I believe I was able to answer a few of the questions. Thank you for joining in the live today, and have a great week ahead. I've given my details for LinkedIn. You can just send me a DM, and we'll take it from there. Thank you for watching out the video. Have a great day ahead.